I'm here in the waiting room in Atos Jiu-Jitsu, but there's a separate room that's set up for Judo. And so I've got Gunnarr over here training with Judo Josh and a 6-degree red belt and another heavy black belt. And we're getting him ready for the tournament next weekend. Hopefully you guys will have a good time watching. Sorry there's no sound, but it's closed circuit. I'm not expecting a whole lot of people to be that excited about it, but I figured I would record it so his mom can watch and my family can watch down in San Diego and kind of get a kick out of what's going on. I'm trying to set it up to where everybody can watch it. Let me see if there's a way I can make this work for you guys. Here we go. I'll try to zoom in on it. Looks like that one dude's wearing a jiu-jitsu gi. So he's probably, the guy with the white belt looks like he's got a jiu-jitsu gi on. Hopefully you guys will get a kick out of it. Just like sharing this with my audience so you can see that if you have kids, it's doable. And it's a really big deal if you have a son that he's in martial arts, especially in this day and age. So they're just going through the basics. Hopefully you guys are liking it. Yeah, there's no sound. It's streamed closed circuit. He's in another room. But just enjoy the techniques. Now, I'm a big fan of Judo. I started Judo when I was 6. And I think it's a complete martial art because it teaches you honor and discipline, respect for your uke, or your training partner. And I also love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, don't get me wrong. Spent many years in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well when it became popular because of the UFC. But remember that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is basically just Judo. It's Newaza, which is our ground fighting in Judo. And they perfected it, and they have a little bit different rules. But the problem that I have with Jiu-Jitsu, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, basically we start on the ground and usually we try to pull guard right away. But in a real street fight, it will always start standing. And that's why I also spent many years learning how to box and in Muay Thai as well, because I feel that you have to learn how to understand throws. You have to know how to kick and how to anticipate being kicked. But ultimately, 99% of fights end with you grabbing your opponent. Any of you who've ever been in street fights, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? So, because of that, Judo, I believe, is a superior sport that can teach you how to get your opponent on the ground, and then that's where your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or Newaza, which is what we call it in Judo, comes in. Remember, the Gracies were trained by a judoka, and they perfected the ground fighting aspect of Judo, which is called Newaza. And you can see that one dude there with the white belt who is just sparring. That looks like a jiu-jitsu gi. And so the jiu-jitsu gi is a lot lighter. It's not as heavy because they don't do as many throws. And they tear a lot. See that right there? That guy right there in the white belt right there, see him? That looks like a jiu-jitsu gi. And I have one of those gis, that's how I know it. And they're much lighter. And they tear a lot easier. But this is a jiu-jitsu dojo. They call them academies where I'm at today. And that's my son sensei over there on the left. That's Josh. And then on the far right, that is a 6-degree red belt. And that is my sensei's sensei. And my son recently earned his green belt. He's got a tournament coming up next week. And I figured rather than just sitting here twiddling my thumbs freaking out about how terrible the stock market's doing, that I would share this with you and narrate what's going on. So right now they're learning some techniques. You can see there, see the foot sweep. It's learning how to do the foot sweep, doing some katas, and then doing some modified randori. Got some little yellow belts in there. Really great sport. Really like it a lot. And in street fights, this is how I won 99% of my street fights as a youngster. Big guys would always pick on me because I was shorter, and I would throw them. And once you throw someone that's bigger than you on the ground, it hurts really bad when you're big and you break a rib cage. Your wind gets knocked out of you. But the difference between judo and a lot of different sports is we're taught to basically our uki, our training partner, or even our adversary, to give them a defeat with honor. So we pick them up and say, okay, great work, and they'll become your friend. You earn their respect that way. Let me see who's in here. Hey, what's going on, Gelato Boy, Ricky? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Aikido. I think it's a great art, but I think in a real fight, Aikido is not effective. And that's why, because I've tried it, I've trained it. It doesn't do anything for me. And Neo Slinky, I appreciate your opinion, but I've sparred against many Kung Fu guys, and I've never lost. I think that Muay Thai and Judo, if you're going to train in any kind of art, that Muay Thai and Judo are the most complete of all the martial arts as far as being effective in a real fight. But let me get it back on here. Not a whole lot of people watching. I didn't expect that to be the case, but hopefully you guys can see what's going on, and I'll try to narrate. Again, I'm in another room, and my son's doing his katas and stuff like that, training. But for you guys who are recovering alcoholics, recovering drug addicts, for you guys who want to make sure that your sons grow up with a sense of honor and duty and discipline, I think that judo is the way to go, because judo practitioners are definitely a different breed. These guys are giving up their weekend to come out here and train. See that guy right there on the far left? That is a jiu-jitsu gi, and that's probably why he's wearing a white belt. But he might be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, right? And you can just tell he's got that lightweight jiu-jitsu gi on. Kind of looks like one of those Brazilian dudes, right? Just to let you know the difference in the gis. A lot of people don't know. And then I believe that is a 6-dan red belt right there, the old Japanese guy. There you go. So you see the transition from standing to ground. And so in a jiu-jitsu match, you're basically just doing newaza. So right there when it gets on the ground, that's when you would start your jiu-jitsu. There's my son, just doing some drills, learning how to fall so you don't break your back, break your head open. It's a graceful art. And you always want to protect your uki. So that's another cool thing about judo, is you're not trying to hurt your training partner. You're showing respect so you guys can keep sparring and perfecting your skills. Os. Very nice. Another cool thing about judo is you can defeat a much larger opponent using their own energy against them. And this is how I practice law as well. I can go up against a much larger firm and I use the same strategies and tactics from Judo to defeat them. Very good, very good. Very nice. Good job, Gunnarr. Close. Almost. Throw. So Neo Slinky, you have psychic powers. That's cool, man. Can you take out goats? Yeah, I like kickboxing too, but we call it Muay Thai. So kickboxing, not so much, but Muay Thai, absolutely. And Muay Thai uses a lot of grappling techniques. So EB, I would, my son takes Muay Thai as well as Judo. And so in a street fight, he's very well prepared to deal with a kick or a throw. But once he grabs whoever his opponent is, the fight's over. And that's the beauty of Judo, is you don't have to get punched in the face or get your ribs kicked in. Once you get your hands on someone, it's over for that person. It goes to the ground, and then you can transition to newaza, or what people like to call jiu-jitsu here in the United States, but that's all Brazilian jiu-jitsu is newaza. I wish there was a way I could turn this camera. Maybe there is. Hold on. Orientation is locked, so I guess I'm forced to film in this mode. But you get the idea. See that? Boom. I always like watching the heavies go at it, man. Yeah, I got you, Ricky. The kicks are low, but that's the idea. It's hard to deal with a low kick. So yeah. Yeah, I did Taekwondo and Okinawan karate and all that too. And it's a good discipline, but I'm just saying for me, for a very well-rounded, if you don't have time to study every martial art, Muay Thai and Judo, I believe, are the most effective for a real fight. And that's why I like to stick with those. And so hopefully my son can pass on the tradition. I just think that the whole Japanese system in general is just superior. Their culture is very honorable. I just think they're really good people. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Just the Japanese culture is just an amazing culture. Great people. They don't even steal. They don't even, their shopkeepers don't even understand the concept of thievery. It's when Americans come over there and steal stuff, it's such a dishonor to be a thief, to dishonor your family, it just doesn't happen. Very, very rare. Like the whole concept of collecting welfare or going on a SNAP benefit to a Japanese person is totally low class, and it's just beneath someone. Same way how it was when I was growing up. To collect government benefits was considered to be just low class. It's about honor and hard work. Really amazing culture. I think that's why Marines really respect the Japanese, because we had to fight against them And we really have immense respect for the Japanese. I think unlike any other culture, the U.S. Marine Corps has much, much respect for the Japanese. They were so brave. And my dad taught me judo. That's how I started out. He was a Marine. And they had nothing but good things to say about the Japanese and their bravery, their sense of duty and honor. They'd rather commit suicide than surrender. I mean, just wow, that's amazing. Looks like they're taking a water break. Oh, looks like they're done for the day. All right, well, all right, talk to you guys later.